Hello. I love Super Nintendo. I eat, sleep and live everything SNES. Now, in 1992, Street Fighter II was a groundbreaking classic. However, unfortunately, in the modern day and age, it certainly hasn't stood the test of time. No thanks, in small part, to its younger brother, Street Fighter II Turbo, which came along and changed everything about Street Fighter II, improved it in every single way. Now, no trilogy of games is complete without the youngest sibling. The sibling that either becomes a groundbreaking classic or a complete embarrassment at family get-togethers. Introducing Super Street Fighter II, the youngest sibling of the Street Fighter brothers on the Super Nintendo. Super Street Fighter II was released only a year after the previous incarnation on the SNES, Street Fighter II Turbo. By this time, a brand new franchise, known as Mortal Kombat, had made its debut onto the Super Nintendo. Although the original Mortal Kombat sold badly on the SNES, Capcom must have known that a sequel was imminent, and they could not afford to drop the ball with Super Street Fighter II. As a result of this, the game boasted new graphics, animations, colour schemes, as well as 4 new playable characters and a selection of different match types. But which of these, if any, made a difference to the actual gameplay? Street Fighter II Turbo offered 12 playable characters, which for 1993 was a decent offering. However, in 1994, Super Street Fighter II blew this out of the water by including an extra 4 brand new characters, bringing the total choices up to a nice 16. The 4 new characters included a T-Hawk, a Native American looking to win back his land or something, Fei Long, a Bruce Lee ripoff, DJ, a Jamaican dancer, and Cammy, an English Special Forces lass. Each character breathes fresh air into the Street Fighter series, and it will surprise no one that these 4 characters are now established and still appear often in the games. However, the original characters weren't ignored either. There were new costumes and new moves abound, as well as new takes on old moves such as Ken now having a flaming dragon punch. There are now also a number of different modes to choose from. Arcade mode and versus mode still appear, but they are now joined by a group of other modes to spice up the gameplay a little bit. Group battle, where you choose a number of characters and play a series of games to decide which team wins. Tournament battle, up to 8 players can enter into a tournament to decide the winner. Time challenge, 1 character chosen to win 1 round in as short a time as possible. The basic mechanics are the same each time. Beat someone else up as quick as possible, but it's nice that this is brought together in a different way each time. The tournament mode is a particularly nice touch that provides a league table to see how well all of your friends are, or aren't, doing. The main difference between the release of Turbo and the release of Super is that this actually felt like a brand new game. I remember getting this game and being so glad with the core dynamics and being so happy that I'd finally spent my pocket money on a new Super Street Fighter game. New sounds, graphics, sprites and animations only add to the feeling of originality that Super Street Fighter II had when it was first released. At the time, I was so happy with the release of Super Street Fighter II. We had new characters, new graphics, new animations, and I was so glad that I finally had a brand new crush for my 8-year-old self to fixate on. 18 years later, however, it's only now that the cracks truly start to appear in the pavement. First of all, I'm sure this game is playing slower than Turbo did. When reviewing Street Fighter 2 Turbo, I commented on how happy I was that the Turbo Edition had sped up the gameplay. So why have they gone backwards? On checking, I can confirm that they did in fact take the speed of the game back to the original Street Fighter 2 style. Capcom, why are you going backwards? If anything, I found this even more awkward than Street Fighter 2. Another thing, what is up with the colours in this game? What is the obsession with saturating my gameplay with greens and oranges? Turbo looked beautiful, but everything here is ridiculous. Why is Dhalsim's stage green? Why is that snake glowing green and orange and exactly the same colour as the tree? And don't even get me started on the characters themselves. Blue Blanca I can forgive, as he was originally green anyway, but Blue Dhalsim? And what happened to Bison? Maybe I've become desensitised in my old age, but sepia-coloured M. Bison doesn't quite scare me the way he used to. For me, the problems of this game can be summed up as such. Why are there so many unnecessary changes? If you want to convince us that we are buying a completely new game, give us new levels, give us unlockables. Sure, 4 new characters, brilliant, but why did you stop there? Why are all these changes so unnecessary? I want new characters. I don't care if my Ryu is orange or black. At least if you're going to screw around with the colours, make them plausible. Make me want to choose one of them. I don't need old-fashioned photograph Bison or Blue Dhalsim. Despite the dumb, unnecessary changes to the colour system, this game is still a good game. The real issue I have with it is the fact that they took out and reduced the speed from Turbo. And they've taken it back to the original game. Why take it out altogether? Why not leave it in, but just not make it default? That way, I can choose. As far as I'm concerned, that is the one unforgivable thing about this game. The only reason I now ever play this game over the Turbo Edition is because I've still got a slight 18-year-long crush on Cammy. As far as I'm concerned, I would rather not have those 4 additional characters and be able to play the game at the speed that the Nintendo God must have insisted. 91% for Super Street Fighter 2. Super Street Fighter 2 was the last Street Fighter 2 game released on the Super Nintendo. For a series that's still alive and kicking today, it's certainly come a long way from its humble roots. Now, Street Fighter may not be everyone's fighting genre of choice, but you can certainly do a lot worse than pick up a Street Fighter game. Unfortunately, the Street Fighter 2 games haven't generally stood the test of time very well. I still enjoy playing the Street Fighter games, but if I'm honest, I'm probably more likely to play Super Street Fighter 4 or maybe even one of the Tekken games. However, next time we're going to be looking at a game that I personally think has stood the test of time exceedingly well, and like a good wine has only got better with age. This is a game that I have been looking forward to reviewing for a long time now, and I certainly hope you'll enjoy joining us next time in a couple of weeks when we look at another classic Super Nintendo game. I'll see you there.
Hadouken! Hadouken! Wat ben je gebeurd? Hadouken! Wat ben je gebeurd? Wat ben je